Every time I get a chance to talk to Barry Melrose, and it's been a while since I've hooked up with Barry from ESPN, I just think of the glory days of the Adirondack Red Wings. I mean, I'm an old guy now, right? 30 years in Albany, and I think when I came here in 86, back in those days, man, that place with the Civic Center, Adirondack Red Wings, absolutely rocking. Good morning, Barry.
Hey, great to hear those memories, man. Brings back a lot.
Man, huh? It's been that long, hasn't it, huh? 30 years ago.
It's been longer than that. I think I came up here like in 84 from Detroit, and I was just coming for 2 weeks, and I stayed the rest of my life. So that shows how things can change in sports.
And they still love their hockey in Glens Falls, don't they?
Yeah, they do. The building, the people are doing a good job with the building. They've created some funds. Looks like they're going to do a lot of improvements on it. It's still a minor league building. It's not as fancy as some, but the sight lines, and when you walk in, there's not a bad seat, things like that. You can see all your friends, in the building. They're easy to find. You can't lose a kid in Glens Falls because they're right there in front of you. There's no place to hide for a young kid. So it's a great place to watch minor league hockey.
There is no doubt, always has been, and they support their hockey in a big way in Glens Falls. Barry, I appreciate a few minutes here on Big Board Sports 104.5, the Team ESPN Radio in Albany. And let's start with this Rangers team, off to a 2-1 start. We have a lot of Ranger fans in the Capital Region. What's your thought on the Rangers here, and are they sitting on a good season?
A good season, but again, I think the Rangers, with their window, the word they like to use, the window is open, the window is closed, the window is closing. I think the window is closing. I think all those good players are approaching 30 years old, 31, 32, which is now late in an NHL career. They haven't been able to, win yet. They went to finals, but, that group has to start winning, and then you got to take advantage of Lundqvist. You got to take advantage of McDonough. You got to take advantage of Stahl. You got to take advantage of the forwards that are still young. But Kreider looks like he's off to a real good start. The Benajad is going to be a good player for them. They've got some other good players. Zuccarello has to have a good year for them. But they're a good team. They're certainly a playoff team. Are they as good as Pittsburgh? Are they as good as Washington? Are they as good as Tampa Bay? I don't think so. But a great goaltender can overcome a lot of things. And, maybe this is Henrik's year to get over the top and win a couple playoff rounds on his own for the Rangers and get them into a position to take a run at the Cup.
And it hasn't changed much in that sport over the years, has it, Barry? Goaltending is where it starts.
Yeah, and that's the strength of the New York Rangers, but yet, Henrik's never been able to put them over the top. He's never been able to win that one round that maybe the other team is a little bit better than they are, and he just hasn't been able to do it like a Jonathan Quick or some of the other goaltenders in the NHL have done. He hasn't done it yet for the New York Rangers.
Of the Devils, Islanders, Sabres, throw in the Bruins, who should fans in upstate New York be most excited about among those regional teams of interest, Barry?
Well, it depends. You're sort of apples and oranges. If the Buffalo Sabres have a good year, you're saying, well, the future is very bright. They're in every game. They could have won in Calgary last night. They've been hit with the injuries with the two guys they got hurt. Kane getting hurt is really, really tough on them. But if they're fighting for a playoff spot, I think it's been a heck of a year for Buffalo. I like Boston. I think Marchand right now might be the best player in the NHL. You've got some other guys that are really playing well. Bergeron's not even in the lineup. Rask gave him a really good game last game they played. So they're hanging tough. So I think the Boston maybe is going to be a surprise team. Everyone wrote them off. But if they get any kind of goaltending and defense at all, I think they're going to score enough goals that they'll be in most of the games. The Islanders are dicey. They'll go as long as Tavares can take them. The goals are going to be a problem for them. Goaltending, I think, will be solid. Defense is solid. But can they score enough goals to be there with the big boys at the end of the year? So, it depends. If you're a Buffalo fan, you're the future. If you're a Ranger fan, you got to win now. If you're the Islander fan, you got to win now. If you're Boston, you probably got to win now. So it depends who you cheer for. That'll give you an idea of how your team looks.
And Barry, because we have the Albany Devils here in the Capital Region, what's your thoughts on this New Jersey team?
I thought they overachieved last year. I thought Hines did a great job coaching. I like the trade of getting Hall. I think it paid dividends. You saw last night he got 2 goals. They won the game 2-1. He's instant offense, something that the Devils have never really ever had for a long time. Schneider gives them good goaltending every night. So I think the Devils are going to have a breakthrough season. I think they'll be in the playoffs, and I like this team. I think that they're still very good defensively, but I think they'll score more than usual with Hall and a couple of the other young forwards they got. So Camilleri is healthy right now. That's very, very important. He got the assist on the winning goal to Hall. So I think things look pretty bright for the Devils.
Hey, Barry, Zach By joining Roger in studio this morning. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about Sidney Crosby. He's skating again after suffering a concussion earlier in October. We've seen him miss significant time in a couple of years ago due to a concussion. What is your concern level with Sidney Crosby in that department, and just what does Sidney Crosby mean to the NHL to have him out there?
Well, when the event happened, he skated the next day and basically been skating every day since. So I sort of thought, well, this is just a case they'll give him a couple of days off at the start of the season. He needs rest anyways from the World Cup, and everything will be fine. But now we're talking 4 games, and there's still no sign of him playing. So maybe there's more to this than I originally thought. I certainly hope I'm wrong. What he means to the NHL, he's the face of the NHL. He's every national advertising campaign the NHL does, Sidney's in the middle of. So the NHL needs this guy back. He's young, he's great, he's good looking. He's great with the media, always a smile on his face. He's always selling the NHL. So, that's one of the guys that you need front and center every night in the NHL. All sports do. Brady's the same way in NFL, and every sport has those guys that you want front and center, and Sidney's certainly the guy in the NHL. There's no doubt about that.
Time with Barry Melrose. You have the Penguins up there this year as one of the best teams?
Yeah, I think in the East, Penguins, like Washington, Tampa Bay, Florida looks very good also. I think those are the main teams. Montreal, you never know. They look good right now. Carey Price isn't playing. What's with that? That's a very tough flu if he's still got the flu and can't play. But Pittsburgh, certainly. They've got Fleury's playing right now, playing pretty well. Hopefully Murray will be back quickly. Hopefully Sidney will be back. But that team knows how to win now. They overcame a lot of things last year. Kessel really emerged as a big-time playoff performer. The defense is young, pretty good. So, yeah, Pittsburgh's certainly one of the 3 or 4 best teams in the East. There's no doubt about that.
Barry, we had a question come in on Twitter. Someone wanted to know your favorite place to hang out when you go to Saratoga.
Well, the track.
Of course.
I would have to probably say the Horseshoe because of the Krogman boys own it from Glens Falls. So all us Glens Falls guys try to stay together. But I was just at Wheatfield the other night in Saratoga, as a matter of fact. We went out for supper, my wife and a couple other couples. So we had a great time there at Wheatfield. So all Saratoga is great. They got 4 cigar places to buy cigars, which I love. A lot of nice bars, a lot of nice restaurants. So you can't go wrong in Saratoga.
There you go. Barry Melrose. Hey, Barry, one more for me. Last year, the Albany Devils, you kind of knew going into the season they're going to be pretty good. And the climate changed when they had some change at the top in New Jersey. And I know there were better players in Albany. They just seemed like they cared a little bit more about winning games at the AHL level. Did you notice any of that? And do you think that might be the trend here with kind of a new philosophy, a new way of doing things at the top with the New Jersey Devils?
Yeah, it was different under Lou. Lou used the American League. I always laughed and I said, Lou would be happy if no one came to the games, just let the 2 teams play in an empty building. Lou would be happy. So
exactly.
I think that with the new ownership, I think there is a different philosophy. More like Pittsburgh that wants the American League team to be good and have the building packed. Also use it as a good business model and make money with their American League team. Washington's done that in Hershey for years. Detroit used to do that in Adirondack. We always put a good product on the ice, so you can develop and you teach your young guys to win. Also, you can do the 2 things together. So I think there is a different philosophy, and I think that Albany will be the beneficiary of that philosophy, and there'll be better kids, younger kids, and they'll try and win a little bit more in Albany, and which will make people want to go a little bit more.
Barry Melrose, always a pleasure. Keep up the good work. We enjoy watching you, Barry, and we'll get back in touch.
Anytime, guys. Take care.
Thank you, Barry. Barry Melrose, ESPN.